Hello everyone. In this lesson, we will be learning about the present perfect tense. Present perfect is a tense which is similar to simple past. When you learn more about it, it will be easier for you to understand the difference between present perfect and simple past. Many languages don't have this tense, so this can make it a little more difficult to understand, but it's actually easy to use. So let's talk about the rule first. We basically use have or has and the past participle, which is the third form of the verb. For example, she has had 3 glasses of orange juice so far. As you can see, drinking 3 glasses of orange juice is an action that happened in the past, but it still affects now. So we basically can say present perfect tense is used to talk about something that happened in the past and somehow is connected to now. First of all, let's take a look at the rule of present perfect tense. In present perfect tense, with I, you, we, and they, we use have in positive sentences and haven't in negative sentences plus verb 3. Like they have studied French. This is a positive sentence. If we want to make a negative sentence, then we would say they haven't studied French. If you want to make a question with I, you, we, they, this time you change the place of the person and have. The example could be, have they studied French? As you can see, we have changed the place of have and they to make a question. With he, she, it, this time we use has in positive sentences and hasn't in negative sentences. For example, she has watched TV today. If you want to make a negative sentence, you would say she hasn't watched TV today. Again, if you want to make a question, you would change the place of the person and has, and your question would be, has she watched TV today? We use present perfect tense to talk about 2 things. Number 1, actions that happened in the past. As you can see, this is very similar to simple past tense, but the difference is that we don't know when the actions actually happened. And number 2 is to talk about our experiences. Now let's find out more about these 2 things. Number 1, actions that happened in the past but we don't know when they happened. For example, I have lost my wallet. My school card was in it. That's why I can't leave school on my own. In this example, you lost your wallet. The action is finished because it happened in the past, but it still affects now. Its results still affect now. That's why in this example, you need to use present perfect tense. And we don't know when you lost your wallet. Do we know when you lost your wallet? Did you lose it yesterday? Did you lose it 2 hours ago? Did you lose it 15 minutes ago? We don't know. That's why if you don't know the action, actually, if you don't know when the action happened in the past, you have to use present perfect tense. Number 2, to talk about our experiences. Experiences are the things we do in our lives. For example, reading a good book is an experience, or riding a bike is an experience. Eating in an Italian restaurant is an experience, or visiting Japan is an experience. So when we talk about experiences in our lives, since our lives are not finished, you need to use present perfect tense. For example, I have lived in New York for 2 years. In this example, you moved to New York 2 years ago and you still live there. It's an unfinished time because you still live there. The action is not finished. This is also true in the examples I will be reading to you now. Have you ever eaten sushi? Or Carl has been to Japan twice. At the very beginning of the lesson, I told you that present perfect tense is a tense which is very similar to simple past. Now I will be telling you more about the difference between them. Both simple past tense and present perfect tense talk about the actions that happened in the past. But if we know the exact time of the action, we use simple past tense. For example, I went to Japan in 2008. In this sentence, the action is finished because you went there and you came back. When did you do that? In 2002. So do we know the exact time of the action? Yes, it's 2008. If you don't know the exact time of the action, you use the present perfect tense. For example, I have been to Japan. In this sentence, do you know when I went to Japan? That's right, the answer is no. Since we don't know when the action happened, you need to use the present perfect tense. The time keys we use in present perfect tense are for, since, already, just, before, never, ever, yet, recently, and so far. If you want more information about these time keys and want to know how we use these in sentences, you need to watch the present perfect tense 2 video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for listening. See you next time.